Alright guys, today's episode we're going to go over some cool ass box sets in our collection, so grab you a drink, grab you a snack, and join us on today's episode, episode 9 of Welcome to Horrorland.
Welcome to Horrorland.
Alright, so today we just wanted to go over some box sets in our collection. Box sets are the lifeblood of horror. So a lot of companies, they want to release a movie here, a movie there. Some of them you may never get the complete collection if it's a multi-film box set. Some of these movies are just grail items, things that we never thought that we could get that have super nice additions. So we wanted to kind of show some of these off on today's episode. So Eric, you want to start us off?
Sure, I will start us off because I didn't follow the assignment. I actually brought something that's not horror with me. The Conan Chronicles, as y'all can see. It's an awesome edition, guys. It's an Arrow, and I just absolutely love this thing. It's got more special features than you'll ever get through. I've been watching this thing for probably a month now, and I've still probably got half the special features to still go through. I would tell you about the movies, but I mean, if you haven't seen Conan, you probably don't need to be watching this channel to begin with. Really not much else to say about it, guys. I mean, it's probably, I think that it's the most current special edition they have out, and it's the most thorough one that I've ever seen. It is very special. So everybody go out and grab this. It's awesome.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get this one out of the way. It's brand new, unopened in the box, because quite frankly, I don't like these movies. I got this as a gift. But everybody I know loves the Chucky movies. I like the first one pretty good, but in descending order, they lost me a little bit each and every time. But that is just, I don't have a lot of box sets because I'm not a big sequel guy, but that was one of the few.
Alright. My first one we'll go over, I'll pick one out of the middle. This is the I Know What You Did Last Summer box set from 88 Films. So this is a Region B release. I do have a Region Free player. So if you don't have a Region Free player, go out and get one because the UK is releasing really cool sets like this. This of course has all 3 films. Part 3 royally sucks. But the first 2 are pretty good. And definitely some great ones from my childhood. I Know What You Did Last Summer was really big when it came out. So really enjoy that box set. Again, 88 Films, Region B. So if you don't have a Region Free player, you would need to get one. But definitely worth the price of admission for what you're going to get for that box set.
Yeah, I love that movie.
They're good movies.
The thing about it is, I mean, you kind of scratched on it, is it's the best stuff coming out right now, especially in box sets, is being released overseas. Mm-hmm. I can't begin to tell you how many things like, oh, that's an awesome release, and it's not for my player. I don't have a Region Free player, which I'm going to have to get one if I continue going this route, because England and especially Australia, for some reason, are releasing a ton of special editions of box sets, and it's pissing me off, to be quite frankly, because I can't watch all of them. And I'm like, oh man, I mean, now they're pricey. I mean, we're talking about pricey stuff. But
some of them are, but then again, some of them are cheaper than a lot of U.S. release stuff.
It just kind of depends.
Yeah, it depends. But the more obscure the title, it seems the more expensive it is. Yeah. At least that's been my experience with it anyway. The bad thing is, like
Terrifier, for instance, they're getting a really nice Australian 4K set, yes. But the shipping on the thing is almost as much. So the good thing is you do have people like an Orbit DVD or a Grindhouse who typically try to carry that stuff. Yeah. But one of the big things to watch out for with that, I've been hearing, such as Hell House when it came out, people that were getting it, if you ordered it directly from the UK, it had a super nice thick box, kind of like the I Know What You Did Last Summer that we just showed. But if you ordered it off of a US seller, it has a very flimsy cardboard.
Yes.
So I mean, they're really screwing the US all the way around because we have so many rights on our movies. It just it sucks.
Yeah.
So
I totally agree. It's there's actually a release that was done for Razorback. It was exclusively an Australian release. It was not released over here, and Scream just got the rights. I think it was a year ago. I think it was, and I hate to break it to y'all, but that Scream release, I have both. Scream release is pathetic in comparison to the overseas release. You're talking about triple the special features that the Scream release had. And that's just, I mean, that's not an exception to the rule. That is the rule. It's just all there is to it. Your overseas releases got so much more stuff on them. They're so much nicer. The box sets are prettier. But, we're left, unless Scream comes out with something, like they did a really good Fly release, but
that's a video all in itself, though. Maybe that's an idea, light bulb, but like, how far has Scream Factory fallen off that release? That release tree. They used to be the premier, and they are no longer even in the conversation. I mean, everybody's beating them out. Even your little companies like TerraVision and Vinegar Syndrome, Arrow. Everybody's beating them out. All they're doing is a bunch of re-releases of things on 4K that they released 5-6 years ago. So that's really something too. Again. If you're not region free, that's definitely something to think of, which is, I kind of picked a lot of region B stuff just to show how nice it is, because I mean they really do. I mean, they knock it out of the park, like Eric was saying, just absolutely home runs every time they release something. And a lot of the US, they're just not right now.
And we'll try and save some of that probably for a future release, what we're talking about, but I totally agree. Scream, I mean, even as a teenager, a young adult, I was. That's where you wanted to buy your stuff from, Scream, and now it's like the bare minimum.
Unless you buy the big box set stuff like that. That's been how old is that? What, 5 years old?
I mean, the last good big box set they did was Friday 13th, which was, I mean, that's still been 5 years. I mean, 5 years. I mean, probably 5. Yeah.
Well, ironically enough, the last really nice release I bought from Scream was Roadhouse. And it's because they've created a new line called what is it? Something Select, Shout Select, and it feels like, and and if Scream wants to if Scream Factory wants to get on there and correct me, they can correct me. It seems like all their attention has gone to like this was just to get them in the door, and now that they've got our attention, they want to show us the real movies they have.
Well, the last one I bought, and you'll love this. This is hilarious, since you said that the last one that I got was like some weird Flash Gordon thing. Because I bought the one from Arrow, and then Scream had one, and I bought them to compare
them. Yeah. And I mean, again, like I said, we can deep dive into that later, because Eric brought up Roadhouse, which is a fantastic movie. But then again, they release it, and then Vinegar Syndrome turns around and releases it as a VSU in the super nice, like, thick magnetic box. Yeah. So, like, it's like every time Scream does something, everyone's like, we're going to one-up them. But again, we can go over that stuff in another episode, because, I mean, God, that's a whole episode in of itself.
I think that is a very good episode you can do with your specialty, where people can go to find this stuff, Kino Lorbe and all that kind of thing. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. I need to continue. I'm holding this up here. My next set, it's a personal favorite of mine. I love The Fly. The David Cronenberg was, oh my gosh. If that didn't blow your socks off, nothing will. This set has the old, I think it's 1950s?
Yeah, 55.
Movies. 55, right? Yeah. And on up. If you like older movies, I do. As you'll see in my collection, I have a lot of older stuff. I like black and white. I like it all. If it's horror, I'm all about it. And this Fly set has it all. I mean, if you like The Fly, everything that you would want is in this box set. It's nice and sturdy. It ain't one of these flimsy box sets like this. It's thick. It's back whenever they were making them really nice. This is a Scream release, by the way. But it was made probably 7-8 years ago. So, take it for what it's worth. But it's excellent. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. I have that one too. It is super nice. I love that release.
And these, I'm just going to show these together. I love Friday the 13th. It's my favorite complete franchise. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Halloween is my favorite movie, but this is my favorite franchise. I have every box set ever made by them. I've got the big one, like the Halloween release. I just didn't bring it. I thought Eric had it with him, but everybody knows that one. This is the first one I ever got, and that's when they came out on DVD. And this was one of the first really good box sets I bought, and love it. It had special features on it that had never been out on another, and this is the one. This is an excellent box set. This one came out when it came out initially you got these cards inside for free tickets or $5 off tickets to the movies.
Yeah.
You know, which was hilarious that they did that. You came with a complete collection in a really, really nice hard cardboard bound case to hold them in. You came with all your Crystal Lake memories. You're all doomed. You got your camp counselor patch. You got your little kind of like smaller Crystal Lake memories chronology in there. You got 2 pairs of 3D glasses. This is how you should do a box set release.
Excellent.
This is what I want to see when I open up a box set. Unfortunately, these are very rare to find a box set released in that fashion, but it was these I love them to death.
For those of you that are Friday the 13th connoisseurs, Crystal Lake Memories, they started that with this box set right here. It kind of had its own little continuing storyline, if I remember right.
It did.
I don't want to get anybody confused. There is a documentary that's Crystal Lake Memories, but this right here was a whole other little story they created inside the box set that you could watch after each episode of the movie.
There was a little Crystal Lakes memory compilation for that particular film, and some of it you can see directly in that 8-hour documentary, but a lot of this is specific to these discs. So it's cool. I mean, if you like Friday the 13th as much as I do, I've got every version that they've had of a box set.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just want to make sure I told
that out.
I'm going to keep it with 88 films and the Region B stuff. So my next one is Urban Legends. The bad thing about this is it doesn't have anything on the front. So these are kind of, you can't really tell a whole lot about them.
The spine is where it's at, though.
Yeah, which is great because that's what points out on the shelf. So Urban Legend, another one that I really remember from the 90s. And part 1, Scream Factory released. And then it's like they got the final cut and they just did a standard edition. And it really sucked. And then part 3, Bloody Mary, well, again, much like I Know What You Did Last Summer, it's not a good movie, but as a completionist, you still want it. So, again, 88 Films released this one for their Region B people, and I had to snag it, and it's great. It's got art cards on the inside, tons of special features. Again, definitely worth the price if you can find this one. I think this one and I Know What You Did Last Summer are both out of print in the box set form, though.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that.
So, yeah, they did, like, limited runs, and I think they've got, like, if I'm not mistaken, it's a case with like all 3 discs in there. But as far as the box sets, I think they are no longer available.
Be dang. My next is something that a lot of people watching probably haven't ever even heard of before. I brought it for that very reason. It's alive. It's, believe it or not, they made 3 of these bad boys, and it's Killer Babies, folks. That's all I can tell you. I don't know any other way to put it. It's Killer Babies, and it's awesome.
Put them on Blu-ray.
For those of you that are old heads that know what I'm talking, Michael Moriarty is in like 2 of these.
2 of them.
And man, he's awesome in them. And I mean, of course, I highly recommend all of them. I own them, so of course I'm going to sit here and tell you that they're awesome. But as far as just story goes, if you're like, I don't really care if special effects is all over the place or whatever, then It's Alive is for you. It's got a great story. But special features are awesome, all of them. That is also a Scream Factory release. But anyway,
you love some Scream Factory.
I do love some Scream
Factory.
I
do too. I've got a ton of it. Now these are my favorites as far as box sets go. This is a Scream release. I love Phantasm. I've loved it since the day I first saw the movie. This is the first box set that they released for that. And I remember buying that thinking it'll never get any better than this. And then they did this. So this has got the spear, it's got the lobby cards, it's got all the special features. If you look on the back, this one's never been opened because I'm an idiot. If you tell me I need 2 of these so I can watch one and keep one, I'll be your friend. So this is the one that's never been opened.
Now, is that a Blu-ray release or is that a DVD
That
release?
is Blu-ray
release. I'll be danged.
That's awesome.
Also comes with the blades and the stand for your spear, and the stand on the back, you can't really see it, but the stand port's clear, so it looks like the disc hovers. Yeah. It's really cool.
So very jealous.
I bought 2. I bought one to watch and one to never open because I'm an idiot. But that right there is probably that's probably my favorite series of movies.
All right, so based on what everyone else has left, I can see here at the table, we're going to go 2 for 1 here, and I'm going to do 2 Arrow releases. For one, these are both 4K releases. We have the Psycho Arrow 4K box set along with the Hellraiser 4K box set. Now, I don't know, again, I think the Psycho one is out of print.
Yes,
they have I think it's the continuing story or whatever, where it's 3, 4, or 2, 3, and 4.
Right.
But it's out of print with part 1, which is not a real big deal unless you're just looking for the box. Because
there's a much
part
nicer
1,
special edition of part 1 anyway.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I love these. I mean, Scream Factory, again, did them back in the day with slips. I never got them with slips. So if I can't have my Scream Factories with slips, I don't typically buy them. I'm that kind of person. Just because I started getting them with slips, and I want them to look all uniform on the shelf. So when they announced this, I was super happy to grab them. They look beautiful. Great transfers on those. As for the Hellraiser box set, this is not the what is it? The Quartet of Torment or whatever.
Right.
It's not that one. This is just a flimsy.
It's the same thing.
Yes, it's just a flimsy
Just
box.
a
Is the
different
only
box.
thing though. Like that. When I got this, I was really hoping it was going to be a hard box and just not have all the booklets and lobby cards and stuff that the other one. I mean, it's still a super nice release, but it kind of sucks that it's not hard, but it is what it is. So that is Hellraiser for those of you who like that. That one is still available at arrow.com, or I guess it's technically Arrow UK because it's a UK release, but it is 4K, so it is region free.
Yeah, and that's something important to note for everybody wanting to buy from overseas. 4K is
Universal.
region free. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
But I did want to add something to yours. Sorry to drag stuff on, but on Hellraiser, the 4th movie off of that, there are 2 versions of that film on there, and it is incredible. There's a work print that was done by the original director, and then there is the theatrical release, which we won't even bother talking about because it's not good. But the work release, if y'all ever buy that, oh my gosh, watch that work release one. It is so good. But anyway, sorry. My next is
My favorite.
also my favorite. This is the Universal Monsters box set. It's also my most expensive box set, I might add. This not only has all of the original release for Frankenstein, Dracula, The Mummy, Invisible Man, my personal favorite, The Gill Monster. I could go on. There's like 3 more of them. But anyway, the point is that it not only has that, but it has all of the subsequent films inside as well. Like if there was a Dracula movie and then there was Dracula meets Wolfman, that's in there. Everything that Universal released all the way up to 1960 that was related to the Gill Man, Frankenstein, Dracula, The Mummy, it's all in here. It's like 30 movies, if I remember right. 33, I think, to be
Is this
exact.
still in print?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
It sure is.
I'm gonna have to buy that.
I'm actually waiting. Yeah, that is a set that I want, but I've actually kind of tried to wait for it to come down in price because they're starting to release them on 4K.
Yes.
The thing is, though, those movies are so old, 4K is not going to benefit
It's
them
not
that
going to
great.
be. You're not going to.
So I'm hoping the Blu-ray will drop in price drastically, and then I can grab a copy too. Because I actually I've seen a couple of those, but I've never seen all of them. So that's something I'm actually interested in picking up myself.
You actually hit the nail on the head. Black and white, and this is something for y'all to really keep in mind. When you start talking about 4K and black and white, you put it side by side with Blu-ray. I'm not saying you can't tell a difference, but it's not significant enough for you to pay, what, $20 to $30
Oh,
extra.
yeah, for sure.
Minimum.
But
And
anyway,
the box set, I mean, the 4K box set's like $200 or something.
but it's
I mean,
an incredible
outrageous.
box set. For completionists that really want everything in one place, it is, without a doubt, my home run of my collection. But anyway, next up.
All right. Now, this is bougie. I'm sorry. Eric's got one that I don't have that I've got to buy.
Grab it.
I don't know why I don't have it. I have no idea. I have everything Halloween.
Yeah.
But I do not have this. So, till tonight. I'll find this somewhere tonight. I have 2 kidneys when I'm going to be on eBay later.
That was at Walmart for the longest.
It was
like
at
their
Walmart.
bargain
Yes,
bins
I
were
bought
like
it for $30 to $40.
Yeah.
And this is another Scream. So,
Yeah.
but that
Yeah.
I'll have to have. And I'll just touch on these real quick.
And is that's the only way you can get one of the Rob Zombie cuts.
It is.
That is the,
Uh-huh.
okay.
So I got, if nobody's ever seen these, I collect these things. I've got like 5 of these. These were the original 10th anniversary. These came out in '88, and they were one of the first, I guess you could say, special release anything. So they're on VHS. Mine have never been played. The keychain still intact on the cover, the case. I still got all the swag with it, promotional material, where you could buy jackets and T-shirts and stuff. Like theatrical poster replica was $1. This is my all-time favorite horror movie. So if it's Halloween, I'm going to find a way to own it. And that was the one. I've got the one in all. I've got 6 of these. I've got 5 in orange. I've got 1 in black, and they only made 1,000 in black. And I've got them all. I've got the 10th. I've got the 25th, 25 Years of Terror. I've got the 35th. I've got the 30th. This was a weird release. This thing's got an actual mask on it, and I love it. So if you got something at home you want to sell, just hit us up here. And of course, I've got the big box set. This was a good release. This is a Scream release as well. I love these movies. Well, we're not going to touch that. I love Halloween. Put it that way. That way I'm not going to offend everybody.
There you go.
There we go.
Nice day.
Yeah.
All right. I'll do this one next. It is The Hitcher. So this, by far, is the thickest box set that I have in my entire collection for one singular film.
So jealous.
This was a grail release for so many people. And it's like, once it was released once, 50 people released it. So we started with Umbrella, then we had Second Sight with a super nice 4K edition, and now I think actually it has its own US release coming out. So it just kind of started a whirlwind with that. But this is super nice. It's got like I don't know even how big the book is because I actually haven't looked.
A couple hundred pages.
Oh yeah, it's huge. Like it's a humongous book. It also has the, I think it's a story, the screenplay with lobby cards, the 4K and the Blu-ray, and just chock full of special features. So if, again, you guys are into The Hitcher, this one is a 4K, so it will be region free. Now your special features, you might not be able to watch all those on the Blu-ray because it is a region B, but definitely worth the price for this. I think it's like $100 now because they sold out of them mostly, but it's worth $100.
Yeah.
Even for one movie, as dumb as that may sound,
Yeah.
this is by far one of my nicest collection pieces for a singular movie. So
Very, very jealous. I've been trying to buy that thing for years. But anyway. As for my last one, this is the last. Is certainly not my best. Critters.
bitch.
Those are good little movies.
It's good little movies. Actually,
They're like fun.
Personally, I like part 2 better than I like part 1. Believe it or not. That's whenever.
Is that the one with the hungry heifer?
Yeah. Yep. The Hungry Heifer's in it.
Me and Lee just watched those not long ago.
It's a great little set of movies. They're a good time. Doesn't take itself too seriously. Mm-hmm. So I that's what I appreciate about these movies. As far as the box set goes, I think this is the very last Scream set, once again, that they sent out with a thick case. Look at that. I mean, you could build a house out of that.
Those are nice, man.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, I mean, it's thick. And but this was back whenever Scream was doing them right. Mm-hmm. Every one of these discs is filled with special features. The box set was nice. The artwork is awesome. Even the spine.
Arrow is coming out with that set in December, so I have that set, but I don't know. I may have to trade it. We'll have to see what the special features are, but I love Critters. They are, good, like Carl said, fun little movies. They don't take themselves seriously, as you said.
The Crits.
And actually, Leonardo DiCaprio, one of his first,
It was his first film role, yes.
There you go. So.
And also Angela Bassett.
Yes.
Was that part 4?
Part 4.
Yes, part 4. Yep. All right. Carl,
I just want to touch on one thing because I'm such a geek for Halloween. These things, these little booklets here, if you can find one of these things, this is unreal. It's got a lot of good special features on it, but you got to watch out or you end up like I did. 25 Years of Terror, the 25th anniversary is all in there. And if you buy the 25 Years of Terror, this particular one, it's got a second CD with bonus materials on it. It's got Sean Clark and all his Horror's Hallowed Ground footage on it. That's really, really cool. Because if you've not watched his stuff on YouTube, you got to go see that. He visits the actual film locations for all the movies, and does really good stuff for Halloween 3. All the movies actually, but he actually had footage of the Doyle house before it was the facade was changed when they remodeled it. So he's got a lot of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can find those. That one's hard to find and it's still expensive. The rest are $10-15 used, but each one of them's a little, just enough different to make it worth owning.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll do the last one in mine is going to be the extremely out of print Amityville house collection. So this has the Amityville Horror Evil Escapes, Amityville 92, It's About Time, Amityville A New Generation, and Amityville Dollhouse. So these were the made-for-TV Amityville movies. They're not great, but I mean they're decent for what they are. Vinegar Syndrome put this out. It went out of print. One of their quickest releases to go out of print. It went out extremely fast, and I was actually able to snag this on a Black Friday sale when they like magically found some. Apparently we don't do very good inventory keeping at Vinegar Syndrome, but that's besides the point. So still super glad to have it. Probably, like I said, it's probably the most expensive one in my collection. Because I mean it goes for probably like $150 to $200, and I mean the movies are not great, but I mean they're good little watches. I'm not a huge Amityville person, but they make each one of these have like a cursed object or whatever, and I mean they're good for what
Wasn't
they are.
there a TV show that
There
went on the
was.
same premise?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I think I mean they pretty much made that I think after Friday the 13th the
Yeah.
series because they knew how good the cursed
Yeah.
objects could do.
Everybody's blew up with something then.
Yeah, but I mean again, I mean for the box set, it's pretty cool to have all four together in a box. The box is cool. I mean, your standard Vinegar Syndrome where the top raises off. So super cool stuff. And like I said, I've added this one just because it's probably the most expensive one in my collection and one that a lot of people look for, but you can never hardly find it. So
We'll say those Vinegar Syndrome releases,
Yeah.
while they're always very nice, I'm not trying to just like knock all of the specialty people out there, so don't everybody be like hating on me, but I'm just saying Vinegar Syndrome is like the priciest of all the places I went to
Yes.
look for stuff.
It is, but a lot of times they'll have features. They'll put together.
I agree. Yes, they
They'll
have some
put
very
together
nice
a
special-
hell
yeah.
of a nut.
But I'm like, well, you're going to pay for it.
that's another
Yeah,
company though
yeah.
that you could do a whole video on. I have 3 shelves here behind us off camera that is full of Vinegar Syndrome, but the thing is, the years of Vinegar Syndrome that were good is the years when they started. Now
Yeah.
we're releasing a lot of non-English titles,
lot of-
things that are not even dubbed in English, a lot of Mandarin.
Questionable material.
Yes, I mean they have a whole website that's just for that now. So
Yes.
I mean I went from getting like 50 to 60 of their releases a year to now I get maybe
Yeah.
15. I mean I get 15 to 20
I mean,
still.
you got to
probably,
shift through some pretty shifty
Yeah.
stuff in order to find something good in there nowadays.
but I have heard of some cool stuff coming for Black Friday, so we'll see. That stuff goes.
Well, I hope you're right because I
Yeah.
am really ready for Black Friday.
I have heard of some stuff. So, anyways, I guess are we done?
I think
Well,
we're done.
I would like to do something if you don't mind. I promised the guys at Paul Bearer Press, they're super good to us. Them and Vinegar Syndrome have been so good to me and Eric for they're good to us because we bought their whole damn booth in Atlanta, basically. But I just wanted to say, I've got 30 of these shirts?
Yeah.
I probably own 30 of these Paul Bearer Press shirts. This one right here is City of the Living Dead. It's one of my favorite movies. I've wore this shirt probably 40 times. Washed it 40 times. It's not faded. It's not stretched. It hadn't shrunk. Anything. They're like $30, but I'm telling you, for $30, regardless, this shirt has been wore out for like 2 years, and this thing's held up great. So if you want to buy high quality shirts,
He's got a Vampiros Lesbos that's awesome.
I do. I've got this House of Cemetery, Squirm, Vampiros, Lesbos. I had a ton. I got them all. But I just wanted to give them a shout out because we buy so much stuff at conventions
I
that
feel like we're doing a commercial.
but we buy so much junk at conventions and some of it doesn't weather well. These guys have been super good to us, and their stuff is, and they partner up with Vinegar Syndrome a lot. So it's just been good quality. And I saw one of the guys and I told
That's
him, you know
another
what, I'm going to
episode
throw
we could
that
do.
out just to say thanks for
Talking
the
about gutter
quality.
guards and all the other side. I didn't mean to interrupt
Oh,
you,
yeah.
but That's a whole other episode we
Oh,
can do of just apparel and stuff
sharks,
like that.
yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
I mean there's some
yeah,
great
yeah.
stuff out there, guys.
Cavity colors, tear
For sure.
threads. Yep.
Speaking of conventions, as we get ready to round down this episode, Horrorland Media will be in Days of the Dead Atlanta in February. We will also be Evansville, Indiana for the Evansville Horror Con the first weekend in March. I think it's the 1st and 2nd. So you can catch us there. Come grab some awesome horror DVDs at Blu-rays and 4Ks. Also, grab your copy of Mothershucker. You can also hit us up at the link. There will be a link in the description. And down here at the bottom of the screen right now, you can see it will be horrorlandmedia.square.site. If you go there, you can order your own copy. We're trying right now to ship next day. We also have some t-shirts available on there. So don't wait.
Yeah.
Grab you a copy. It's going to be great. As we get ready, we won't say too much on this, but as we get ready to film our next movie, we still want to show Mothershucker some love. So make sure you go buy those Blu-rays. Follow us on all of our socials, Horrorland Media on Facebook, Instagram. We have a TikTok. So do all that. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And
Absolutely.
if you guys have a topic that you would like for us to talk about, make sure that you drop us a comment down below and let us know. So we will see what we can get into next week. But for now, that's going to end this week's episode of Welcome to Horrorland. We thank you all for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.
Peace.